Hello, everybody. I just want to go back with you, just for a little while, back to when I was a child. And the first property we had was a masonette. So I was brought up in, like, um, masonette buildings next to tower blocks and stuff like that. And we always had a chute for the rubbish, so you go to the end of the chute, it just goes down like a slide, and then obviously the rubbish bins at the bottom of it. But when we were younger, we used to all go down the chute and use it as a slide. And I tell you what, it was the best time ever. I don't know if you've ever been brought up, you know, with properties like that when you were younger. And you always had a chute to put your rubbish down, and we just used it as a slide. It was best years of my life. You know what I mean? As a child, of what I remember. And yeah, it was just such a more simpler time than it is today. And just like talking about tower blocks and masonettes and stuff like that. Obviously, they wasn't, built with having, in mind that when you've got families and stuff, you need outside spaces because being cooped up in a flat or a masonette with no garden and stuff like that. It wasn't. Sorry. You want the kids want to go out and enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? And the thing is, just by us using the chute as a slide, it just made everything just, a lot better. You know, we used it to our advantage. And climbing frames and stuff looked like scaffoldings when we were younger. The proper metal scaffolding, climbing frames. I mean, now everyone's like, oh, health and safety and all that. Like, oh, fuck's that, yeah. But then, nobody complained back then. You just played out, and then as soon as them street lights come on, you was indoors. You was in, doors locked, everything. You know what I mean? Ready for the next day, school and stuff like that. I was just saying, you know, yeah, I mean, and they should have really, made more green outside spaces for the kids to play and stuff like that, instead of them being cooped up in a tower block or masonette, you know what I mean? But they never had people in mind. All them, just forget about people, just shove them in them kind of places and forget about them. That's what it was like. But, us kids, we made our own entertainment, and it was just absolutely